Hi guys, Colleen here from Walking the Resonant Path. I just want to tell you about a book I finished reading called Invoking the Scribes of Ancient Egypt, The Initiatory Path of Spiritual Journeying. Okay, and this is by Norman D. Ellis and Gloria Taylor Brown. So I'll do what I always do, I'll read the blurb and then I'll tell you what I thought of it. Okay, within each of us is a story, a sacred story that needs to be told, of our heroic efforts and of our losses. The scribes of ancient Egypt devoted their lives to the writing of sacred stories. These technicians of the sacred were masters of hieroglyphic thinking, or Heka, the proper words, in the proper sequence, with the proper intonation and the proper intent. Learning Heka provides scribes with the power to invoke and create worlds through their words and their thoughts. To the writer, Heka is a magical way to create meaning from experience. Through Heka, we manifest new visions and new relationships to ourselves and to others. We can make new art filled with beauty and light. Revealing the spiritually transformative power of writing, the authors take us on a journey of self-discovery through the sacred sites of Egypt, from the Temple of Isis to the Great Pyramids of Giza. Through meditations and creative writing exercises exploring the powerful themes found in the hieroglyphic texts of ancient Egypt and the Egyptian Book of the Dead, they show how, through writing, we can live beyond the ordinary, give our dreams form, and discover who we really are and what our lives really mean. Sharing transformative and inspiring pieces of writing by those who attended their Egyptian sacred tours, the authors reveal how writing your spiritual biography allows you to reconnect to creativity and the divine within, face your fears, offer gratitude for what you have, manifest new destinies, and recognize your life as part of the sacred story of Earth. Okay, this book was really good in the fact that it had lots of, as you would know if you watched this channel before, I like things to do. It had lots of things to do, so it had a lot of meditations, and the meditations were really good in allowing you to connect with yourself and your higher self and see what, you know, how you manifest your destiny and maybe what your life purpose is, and just connecting with yourself and knowing how to handle, you know, grief and loss, but also knowing how to manifest good things in your life. So it was good for those things. The writing prompts were also good because there was a lot of like writing exercises, like a writing exercise in each chapter. So I found that really good. And also some of their journeys and what they did on their journey was quite interesting. So I like that. So I thought that the book was good for information, also little bits of information about the Egyptian gods and goddesses that maybe you didn't know. And yeah, I just thought it was good for all of that. Now, what I didn't like is that for people who said they were spiritual, which is fair enough, everybody has their own way of spirituality, I have no problem with that. As you know, this channel, whatever you do resonates within your own soul. But that doesn't mean you can put yourself above other people and think you're better than other people. And also, when you say you respect the culture, you need to respect it. You need to not do things that are illegal in that culture if you respect it. I mean, it's different if you're doing something illegal where you're trying to help people, like save them from something. But if you're doing something illegal just to benefit yourself, that's not respecting that culture. And in this, they went into some temples that nobody was supposed to go in. And they even said in it, it's illegal to go into this temple, but we paid lots of money, so we got in. We got to go in. Well, to me, that's not respecting the culture. And what they might not have thought of is that they go, oh, you know, we are be careful and we have a spiritual, we have a spiritual quest or a spiritual reason for being there, so we wouldn't wreck it and we wouldn't hurt it. But what they might not know is, and might not think of is, sometimes these temples that are being archaeologically dug up are blocked off for the very fact that it's unsafe, so they could have put themselves in an unsafe situation. And also what they didn't think of is that sometimes they're trying to protect these archaeological places, and it's not just whether you would touch the walls or stuff. Sometimes your breath can affect like the paintings or the stuff on the walls of these very sacred ancient places, and sometimes just your body heat can, if there's a lot of you, and they were using candles in their rituals inside some of these temples and things. So if something's blocked off and it said you can't go in, and there's lots of places you can go in, then don't do it, because that's not respecting the culture. The other thing I didn't like is they went into a temple that was illegal, and they saw another man in the temple that was illegal, and they went on about how he shouldn't be there and how they had to get their guide to get rid of him, and how he refused because apparently he had paid his guide money to be there, but they said he shouldn't be there because, who knows why he was there. And he said he was there to meditate, and they did say when they walked in he was meditating. So why is their spiritual stuff more important than his meditation if he did the same illegal thing and paid to get in like they did? I don't like that, elevating yourself above someone else. I don't like disrespecting the laws of the country unless it's to save someone or help someone or an animal or something. So just because you're spiritual, it doesn't mean you can put yourself above other people or think you're better than other people. That's not appropriate. And it's not appropriate to see the culture that way. And also, when they talked about, other tourists, because they had a lot of private tours, which I had no problem with. If you've got the money to have private tours, go for it. Have a private tour. Have your own space in the public temples that are open to the public and not illegal. Got no problem with that. But when they were doing their private tours, they kept saying things like, oh, those damn tourists are coming with all their cameras and stuff and all their whatever, and so we have to get out of here soon. It's a shame we can't spend more time here. And it's like, well, you don't know, firstly, why those tourists are there, and also you don't know whether they have a spiritual journey, and even if they don't, it's not up to you to look down your nose at them. So I found that not very good or very appropriate. They said other things in similar veins and did other things in similar veins, which made me think that they thought of their tour group as better than others, and they didn't refer to themselves as tourists. They only referred to other people as tourists, yet they were all tourists from other countries. None of them were Egyptian. They were Americans and people from Paris and places like that. So you can't just elevate yourself above other people just because you have gone on a spiritual quest, and you can't do illegal things just because you think it will enhance your spiritual knowledge, and yet you say how much you respect the culture. Well, that is not respecting the culture. So as I said, it was really good for the information. It was really good for connecting to yourself and the meditations, and also really good for the writing prompts and the writing exercises. But just, you need to still, if you're a spiritual person doing spiritual things, that's great, but that doesn't mean you're better than everybody else. So you just need to remember that and, put your feet on the ground a little. And that's all I'll say about that. But for the exercises, for the meditations, and for the information, I will still give this 4 cauldrons, but it would probably get 5 cauldrons, but it loses 1 cauldron from what I call the spiritual arrogance. Okay, well, I hope you have a glorious day and do whatever resonates within your soul. Bye now.